I welcome respected Dean Dr. Sunil Natha Mashke sir, all head of departments, teaching staff and students for this second monthly research meet for the academic year 2020-21. I also welcome the judges of this second research meet, Dr. Nigute Madam, Professor and Head, Department of Physiology. Second judge, Dr. Kapade Madam, she is going to come. And third is Dr. Rupa Naik Madam, but due to her health is not good, I request Dr. P.R. Gade sir to act as a judge for the today's session. So, in today's session, there will be the 4 sessions. First will be taken by our Assistant Professor, Dr. Swami sir, and he is going to speak on the important topic related to the research, that is on the variable. After that, 2 original research papers will be presented. First will be presented by Dr. Sagar Jadhav, he is PG resident from the Department of Medicine, and second from the Department of Psychiatry, Dr. Prasad Tagat is Associate Professor of Department of the Psychiatry. After that, one student, Mr. Varun Gule, will speak on a scientist who is born in a month of February. For today's session, chairperson is Dr. Gautam Iyer sir. He is Professor and Head, Department of the Obstetric and Gynecology. I request him, sir, please take the charge. Thank you, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I thank the Research Cell Committee for giving me the opportunity to chair this session today. So I invite Dr. Amrut Swami, Assistant Professor, Community Medicine, for his talk.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Dean, sir, respected IS, sir, all head of the department, teaching faculty, and all students. Good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you all for this lecture, variables. This is the most important topic as far as research is considered. Okay. So variables, they are like instruments of measurement for all the researchers, and it is very important for researchers to choose specific variables which will be used in their study. Okay. So when you all are planning for any research, or when you are applying for ethics committee approval, there will be an important column which we all have to fill up, and that is of these variables. Okay. So what are these variables? What are their types? What is mean by variable, and how do we measure them? We'll just go through that in few minutes. So variable is defined as anything that has a quantity or quality that varies. Okay. So whatever we are going to measure in our study, and which has a quality or quantity which will be varying, and that will be used for data collection, and that will be used for analysis and our final presentation of the results and observations of our study. Okay. All research projects are based on variables, and once research topic is identified, the researcher should identify the key variables of interest. What are the characteristics of variable? They are capable of assuming several values representing a certain category. Okay. Say for example, we want to know what is the age of the participants in our study. Okay. So we have different age values. Okay, and even different scales for measurement. Okay, if we are doing study in neonates, then we would like to measure the age in number of days or even hours. If we are doing study on infants, that is children who are less than 1 year of age, we would like to measure the age in months or days. Or if we are studying the adult population, then we would like to measure the age in years. Okay, so they have several values. Values that may arise from counting and or from measurement. Okay, So say for example, we want to know how many are male and female participants in our study. Okay, so we'll just count how many are the number of males and how many are the number of females. Okay, so that is counting. What is measurement? So we want to know what is the average weight of the study participants. Okay, so we would like to measure the weight of the study participants. Okay, so we'll collect all the weights of the study participants and then we will find out what is the average, what is the standard deviation and other statistics. The raw data or figures gathered by a research for statistical purposes are nothing but variables. Okay, so this is the raw data. Okay, after gathering this raw data in the form of variables, we need to again rearrange the data. Okay, so how to rearrange that? We'll come to that later. Predicted values of one variable on the basis of another. Okay, say for example, we want to calculate body mass index. Okay, BMI. Okay, so we don't go and ask patients what is their BMI, they don't know what is BMI. Okay, first we will take their weight in kilograms, then we will take their height in meters. Okay, and then putting it in the formula, we'll get what is their body mass index or BMI. So BMI is a variable which we have counted from the mathematical equation which after putting the weight and height into that. So predicted values basis of another variable. These are observable characteristics of a person or objects being studied. Okay, so in more complex studies where qualitative research and or other type of research, our variables will be more complex and they will not be as easy as just counting the number of males and females or just taking the weight or height of the participants. Okay, now what are the types of variables? Variables are basically categorized into 4 types. These are independent, dependent, extraneous and intervening variables. Okay, now the most important are 2. Those are independent and dependent variables. Okay, so independent variable is the cause supposed to be responsible for bringing about change in a phenomenon or situation, while the dependent variable is the outcome or changes brought about by introduction of an independent variable. Okay, so these are the dependent and independent variables. Extraneous variables are several other factors operating in a real life situation which may affect changes in the dependent variable. Okay, so these extraneous variable, these independent and dependent variables will be mostly included in our study pro forma. Okay, so these will be the variables which we would like to study. While extraneous variable, they might be missed out. Okay, so if they are missed out, they might bring a false reading or they might hamper our study results. Okay, while intervening variables, they are like those who are both dependent on independent and dependent variables. They are also called as confounding variables. They link the independent and dependent variables so that there might be a problem in our results. Okay, now the variables can be also classified based on the study design. Okay, into active variables and attributable variables. Okay, so the active variables are those variables that can be manipulated, changed or controlled. Okay, say for example hours of exercise. Okay, so hours of exercise can be changed or controlled in a person. Okay, a person can be motivated to do more exercise, right? Or say diet. Okay, so a person can be advised to take a certain type of diet for a particular study. While attribute variables, these are the variables which are fixed and which we cannot change at all. Okay, and the examples are age and gender. Okay, so at a certain point of moment, certain point in the study period, we cannot change the age of any person, or we cannot change the gender of any person. Okay, yes. Also, education status and income in that certain particular study point are the attributable variables or those which cannot be changed. Now, what are the variables by unit of measurement? Okay, so this is the most important slide. From the viewpoint of the unit of measurement, there are 2 ways of categorizing variables. Whether the unit of measurement is categorical, as in nominal or ordinal scale, or continuous nature, as in interval or ratio scales. Okay, so what is the difference between categorical or continuous scales? Okay, categorical scales, they are nothing but like we are categorizing the responses. Okay, say for example, we want to know what is the gender of our study participants. Okay, So we have male, female, or transgenders and others. Okay. So there is no any particular scale of measurement for the male or female or others. Okay. So these are just like enumeration of the genders, like male or female, or say what is the name of the person. Okay. Or what is the religion of the participant. Okay. So, or what is the what are the foods that participant likes. Okay, so these are just the categorical variables. That means categories of responses will be there. While in continuous type of variable, there will be a certain scale of measurement. Okay, say for example age. Okay, so age will be either in years or in months. So there will be a there will be a specific scale of measurement for categorical variables. Okay. Also, we can classify them as qualitative, which are again the categorical variables. Scales used will be nominal and ordinal, and quantitative variables, the scales used will be interval and ratio scales. Okay. So this is the most important slide. Again, I would like to repeat that the two specific variables which will be included in our studies will be categorical variables and continuous variables. Okay. Categorical variables are measured on nominal or ordinal scales, while continuous variables are measured on interval or ratio scale. There are three types of categorical variables. These are constant, dichotomous, and polytomous. Okay. Constant variables, they have only one category or value. For example, taxi, tree, water, name of the participant. Okay, so this is a constant variable. There is no any dichotomous or polytomous responses for that. Okay, while dichotomous variables has only two categories. For example, good or bad, yes or no, male or female, head or tail. Okay, while polytomous variable can be divided into more than two categories. For example, religion into various religions, attitudes which will include strongly favorable, favorable, etc. Okay, so these are the three types of categorical variables. Continuous variables, on the other hand, have continuity in their measurement. For example, age, income, and weight. They can take any value on the scale on which they are measured. Okay, so as I have already explained, age can be measured in days, hours, months, years, right? And income can be measured in rupees and dollars. Okay, so what is the monthly income? What is the weekly income? What is the annual average income? So these can be measured and they have a definite value. Now, coming to the last part of the presentation, what are the types of measurement scales of these variables? Okay, so always remember, once we have devised what are the variables to be used in our study, the second most important part will be what type of measurement scales will be applied for those variables. Okay, and depending on these measurement scales, what type of analysis or what type of statistical tests will be applied to those data which we get depends on that. Okay, yes, so there are four different types of measurement scales: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Okay, so students, remember, this is very important question also. There can be a short answer question on this types of measurement scales, so pay attention. Nominal scale enables the classification of individuals, objects, or responses based on a common or shared property or characteristics. People, objects, or responses are divided into a number of subgroups. Okay, each member of the subgroup has a common characteristics. One, two, or more subcategories can be there for these nominal variables. Okay, so example can be name, gender, or religion. Okay, so these are just nominal, means just the names. Okay, so what are the name of the study participants, or what are the gender of the study participants? Okay, or what is the religion, from which city they are coming from, whether it is urban or rural area. Okay, so these are just the nominal, means names of the study variables. Okay, so there is no any typical order in it, there is no any measurement scale in it. Okay, so remember, nominal. Ordinal, on the other hand, they have all the characteristics of nominal variables, plus in addition to that, there is a specific order in these ordinal category of variables. Okay, and these can be either classified in descending or ascending order. Okay, So there can, if we want to see how much is the severity of pain, okay, so we can just ask patients whether their pain is mild, moderate or severe, okay, or we can see what is the socioeconomic status of the participants. It can be higher, upper, middle, upper, lower or lower, okay. Now what is interval scale? This scale has a starting and terminating point divided into equally spaced units or intervals. The starting and terminating points and the number of units intervals between them are arbitrary and vary from scale to scale. The Celsius and Fahrenheit scales are example of an interval scale. Okay, so the temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit are the best example of interval scale. It is less likely that we will be using interval scales in our study. The most common used scales are nominal, ordinal and ratio scales. In the Celsius system, the starting point considered as the freezing point is 0 degree Celsius and the terminating point or the boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Okay, each degree or interval is a measurement of temperature. The higher the degree Celsius, the higher will be the temperature. Okay, but remember in interval scale there is no absolute zero. Okay, the 0 degree Celsius doesn't mean there is no temperature. Okay, so this is a little bit confusing, because this is the main point of difference between interval scale and a ratio scale. The variable which comes in interval scale, they will not have a absolute zero and they cannot be used for mathematical calculations of our statistics. Okay, while ratio scale has all the properties of nominal, ordinal and interval scale and also has a starting point fixed at 0. Okay, and it is an absolute scale because the difference between the intervals is always measured from a 0 point. Okay, so 0 means there is no, I mean if we want to check the weight, so 0 grams means the entity has no weight at all. Okay, the measurement of income, say for example this month I didn't earn anything, I have 0 rupees in my pocket. Okay, so this is a ratio scale. So 0, that means no money at all. Okay, so ratio scale can be used for mathematical operations. The continuous data tests like mean, standard deviation, they all can be used for the ratio scales. The measurement of income, age, height, weight are examples of this scale, and a person who is 40 years of age is twice as old as 20 years old age. Okay, so that means whatever the measurements we are taking, say for example height. So height of 100 centimeter will be twice the height of 50 centimeter. Okay, yes, so these are the ratio scales. Okay, so that's it regarding today's topic. The references are taken from the research guide, the book edited by Dr. Sunil Nathamaske sir and Dr. Sandeep Kadu sir and all the members of research cell and also the faculty of our medical college, and it will be for use published very soon. Okay, thank you.
Concern and to the resident who are going to present their thesis. So, and if there are any queries from the resident side, the topic is open.
Firstly, I should congratulate the Amrut, because this is a very difficult topic in research and it is very commonly used. Every research, every publication it is required. But unfortunately, those are the beneficiaries, they are very less in quantity. Last time also I had told that JR3 should come for this research meet, but I don't know how many have came. At least our Professor HOD and guides are here, they will be benefited. For UG, I don't know. In their syllabus it is there or not, Amrut has told it is there. Of course they will be the most benefited. But my aim was for PGs, but again I request for all the HODs, kindly send the JR3 so that during the dissertation time, they will not run to the community medicine department and to the research cell. At that time they are very panicky face they are showing to everybody, moving here and there. So today we have to take action on the JR3, because last 2 times I am repeating for them, they should come and attend. Without genuine reason they should not be absent. This is a very important topic which Amrut has presented. I personally congratulate him and thankful to him. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
एक मिनट में दिसत नाही आहे Just if you can remember for RNTCP you have got the grading, right?
Yes, sir.
Grading of the smear for RNTCP for TB.
Yes, sir.
So what type of variabilities?
Sir, grading it will be can be devised in either ascending or descending order. So it will be ordinal.
Ordinal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Variable that I want to ask, because this is the most commonly used in medical field that we use is the Likert scale
Yes.
for pain measurement, that we very commonly used by almost all the PG students also.
Yes.
So in which what type of variable it is, the Likert
Sir, Likert scale will be ordinal variable, sir.
Ordinal.
Because it is perception, sir. It is not a fixed number.
So it is measured on the scale of 1 to 10. So-
Even if it is measured on a scale of 1 to 10, it is just the perception of the patients. Okay,
So there is an order
order, yeah. 1 will be the lowest, 10 will be the highest, and the analysis to be used is not of continuous variable. It should be of ordinal variable. The test for analysis will be Wilcoxon sign rank test, or the other mode, the test which use the mode data for that.
Thank you.
Yes.
In a short notice, he has prepared this lecture. Second, my confusion is there related to our chairperson department, that when about the parity of the patient is asked, they can which variable is proper, because they are multi-para or G1, G2, G3, then which variable they should mention, or the parity.
Parity will be, sir, again, sir, number of children it is. So we have it is a ratio scale, sir. Because say parity 0, that means no children at all. 2 children will be double the times of 1 children, or 4 children will be double the times of 2 children. So we can use that for mathematical calculation. Okay, so the parity will be ratio scale, I guess.
If it is mentioned as nullipara and multipara.
So, sir, then it is dichotomous. So, sir, see, these variables can be interchanged. Like age, even if it is a ratio scale, it can be converted into a ordinal scale in order of decades. Okay, so like first decade, second decade, third decade, fourth decade. And for applying statistical tests on the decade data, we'll have to use the ordinal tests. So Wilcoxon sign rank test. Okay, while if we are using the age number or the fixed number of years, then we can use the mean standard deviation and t-test or other continuous data tests. So yes, ma'am.
With respect to this age interval, there is a starting point and end point, you have said. Right?
Ratios. Yes.
Even in ratio, you said there is a starting point and an end point.
Yeah, ratio has
And
an
then-
absolute 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have to divide that in a equal state.
Yes.
Many of the times when we are presenting data, even in thesis, let us say age, we say less than 18, and it is a loose end then.
Yes.
Or it will be age more than 45, or let us say 65. So before that we have divided like from 20 to 30, then 31 to 40, then we say 41 to 50, then 51 to 60, and then next is more than 60.
Yes, ma'am.
So our one end is an open end. So
Yes.
in that case, what is the measurements?
Ma'am, even if it is an open end, it will be a ordinal scale only.
Then it will
Because-
be ordinal, then
yeah,
it will
yeah.
not be ratio.
Yeah.
That is exactly I wanted
Yes,
to know.
yes,
Because
yes, ma'am.
though it is says the equal interval is there, but just because one of the end is open, it will be an ordinal ratio.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amrut, for satisfying each and every question here. Thank you. So I would like to call the next presenter. He is Dr. Sagar Jadhav, PG from Medicine Department, and he is going to present a original research study on